Evening all, start the weekend here. It is Simon Holden, the Sheriff of Tippingham, Tipping's one-arm bandit, the man who put Crystallium up. Please give me that thumbs up if you watched earlier. One bet, one big winner for Tom Clover and Holden Sources. And I'm here with the judge, one of the greatest form judges there is, a man who's got an incredibly busy day on his service. Judge's verdict tomorrow, Air Gold Cup Day. Air Gold Cup bets, Air Silver Cup bets. Oh, my God, Judge. Are you going to sleep tonight, mate?
No, mate. I'm going to be doing plenty of studying and plenty of typing. I've already got the silver and gold cup bets sorted out.
That's easy for you to say, Judge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we've been both seated. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
I'm looking forward to it, mate. I really love these races, especially when you get two of them. Oh, you can't think of any better. Yeah.
This is going to be one of the, if you like gambling on big handicaps, this is about as good as it gets. Oh, you do. I know that, mate. So, folks, if you want to be in, it's the 16th. You've got until the end of the month for £10. What you will get tomorrow morning is Air Gold Cup bets, Air Silver Cup bets, the works. You might even have another bet as well. It's going to be an incredible first day if you join in. And if you're in this trial, stand by your beds for a big day tomorrow. Myself... If you're an HFC club, don't forget me, the man behind Crystallium. I'm sure. Well, yes, it's easy too. Yeah, I'm the bloke with a sling.
You're all missing up.
Exactly. Very much. Yeah. Very good. Yes. The one-arm bandit of tipping. Well, what we're going to do tomorrow, if you get HFC club, we've got a Newmarket max bet, and we've also got the second ever trading room max bet. The first one was Tis Marvellous. It's been going over 18 months. There's only been one max bet. There's going to be a second one tomorrow, and you'll be able to get involved. If you're a member of trading room, you'll get it sent. Do not worry, but if you're not, you'll be able to buy it as a one-off. So it's going to be a huge HFC day. As I say, Crystallium did the business today. It's been a fantastic. Thank you, Judge. We love Tom Clover. We love that horse. It had only ever won. I noticed a lot of the old pundits and experts were saying that it only won a Tupney Halfpenny Chelmsford race, but I tell you what, I know a good horse when I see one. I don't care what level of race it is.
The first two in that are both very good because the second actually beat the horse that won the previous race. So I think they were well clear as well, weren't they?
So please, if you didn't do that bet, have a look at that. It was the second race on the card today. Crystallium won it. And I think you're right, the front two. In fact, we may come back to that race on Monday in Judge's Jury.
Exactly. We better not to preempt ourselves, have we?
So if you don't watch Mondays...
please do, actually, I've got to say, like Mondays, we obviously I tipped up Pink Crystal horse to follow. I mean, it nearly won a listed race today. Back from 12-1 into 9-2 and only got beat half a length.
I'll tell you what we might do, Judge, this week, if you don't mind, given that Monday's quite a special day. We might put that up on Tuesday.
I agree with you. Yes. Definitely not Monday.
Judge's Jules. So, Your Majesty, we will be honouring you on Monday, and then we'll put that up Tuesday. Right, Judge. It's a huge day tomorrow. We've got a brilliant meeting at Newbury. Do you know what I usually do on this day? I usually go to Newbury and watch Air on the big screens there in the members bar. And it's a fantastic day because Newbury's actually a really good card. It gets forgotten about, really, because everybody's looking at the Air Gold Cup. But I think I'll probably, from the safety of my front room, I'll watch them both. So
I'm sorry, mate. I'm quite the contrary. I've got to watch these big hands. If I can't see what's going on, it drives me crackers. I was on Spanish City a couple of years ago, a massive price. Got chinned by Naham. It was very, very painful.
My best memory of the Air Gold Cup, my old mate in Scarborough, Martin Page, guy who's nicknamed Swerve. We had what were the time with our biggest ever bets. I think I talk about this in my book. Copy still available. Betting Blueprint, where a friend of mine called Andy Bauer, who was friendly with a guy, get this right, friendly with a guy in Malton called Steve Hammond. And Steve Hammond was very, very well connected. And he knew David Barron's son. And if you remember a horse called Coastal Bluff, it won the sprint, the Stewards Cup's at Goodwood, isn't it? It won the big race at Ascot. It won. That was a year after. But what's the big sprint? I'll show you. I haven't rehearsed this story because I don't know it. What is the big sprint at Royal Ascot.
Wokingham.
The Wokingham.
Yeah.
It won the Wokingham. And he saw David Barron's son, and he said to him, what are you going to do? You're going to go to Goodwin? He said, no, going to go to the Air Gold Cup. He said, what do you think? And he said, so talking about his dad, the great David Barron, he said, my dad says it will win the Air Gold Cup on any ground with any weight from any draw. And I thought, how many times do you hear that? That'll do me. Yeah. Now, this is not a yard that gob off, shall we say. Yeah. This is not, they don't think they're geese or swans. So in those days, you had to wait till anti-post betting came on. Yeah. So we had to wait until the Air Gold Cup betting came up. And one morning somebody said, like, Hills Ladbrokes have gone up. And they went up at 7-1, Air Gold Coastal Bluff. Now, the horse ended up winning under Kevin Darley up the near rail at 15-8. And we backed it at 15-8 in the Air Gold Cup. The next year, it won the July Cup.
It didn't it?
No, sorry, it won the Nunthorpe. It won the Nunthorpe in a dead heat. Yeah, Alex Greaves was the first woman to ride a Group 1.
That's right, yeah.
With Kev Darley.
That was a few years ago. I definitely had hair then.
Yeah, I was a very young man at the time. And the thing was, we will come to our race soon, but this is an interesting story. The thing was, when people talk about, it's a group horse masquerading in a handicap and all these dreadful cliches, the horse was a Group 1, not a group horse, a Group 1 winner in a handicap. So, I mean, I think back then, and of course, we kept backing it and backing it and backing it and backing it. And I remember the race. We watched the race in a pub called the Northway, and had a great big screen. And when the race started, it just went into slow motion. The race, just like I watched it in like a tunnel vision. It was no Betfair. There was no laying off.
No, that's right.
And he came up the rail, Darley, and he got up by about a length, but the last 50 yards were like agony. So since then, and I mean, wow. And I won't say how much I won because I'm obviously a very modest man, but it was enough to put a deposit down on a property. I am prepared to say that.
Well done, mate. That was
so it was a Wendy house. But you got him there. It was very, very good. It was very, very good. So the Air Gold Cup will always have a very special place in my heart. I think it's a fantastic race. You're going to be betting on it. I'm going to have a fancy in it. So please do get involved. But we're going to look at what I think is very much not a sort of supporting race, a very good race in its own.
Right. Yeah.
And its own right. And it's the 120. It's a mile handicap, a Class 2. It's at Ayr. It's the opening race of the day. 14 runners go to post. The market is headed by the Jim Crowley ridden Koi, who is 4-1 across the board. There is a big gamble going down on number 11, Dirty Old Town, the old Dublin song, ridden by Jack Mitchell. That is now 11-2. That's been backed. We've got Radana at 15-2. We've got Rivic 10s all the way down to the outsider of the lot, Misty Air, who's still a good little handicapper at 40-1. This is a seriously good race, Judge. I'm going to come to you soon. And we'll start with a favourite before I ask you for your selection. Now, Koi is, it's going to be very, very popular. Trained by George Bowie, who's having just winner after winner after winner. It's ridden by Jim Crowley. The horse has done its winning on good to firm and good ground. Last time out, he ran in a really, really solid race at Newbury 29 days ago behind a high-class handicap at Atrium. And he was beaten less than 2 lengths. So Koi, I personally think 4-1 is about right. I don't know what you think.
Well, I mean, obviously, let's get the positives out of the way. Good horse, good form. He came third to Atrium, who came out and won a very good handicap at Doncaster last week. Very good, beat Empire State of Mind and another one. It's a right good handicap. And also, I will say, another horse come out that race, Oh This Is Us. A horse that we know very well came out and won. So it's really good form.
I backed it.
The only concern is I couldn't really work out. So the horse has been running well, it's been winning, but they've stuck a visor on.
I thought that was odd. Bearing in mind you've got to, looking at 4-1, I'm going to have to take it on because
you've either got to go win only realistically on a horse like this.
Yeah, I agree. And
it doesn't really float my boat. I can see him winning, but I can also see him being out of the frame. If I'm really honest, you know, it's that kind of selection for me. So yeah, it's got a very good chance on the form book, but 4-1 tells its story.
I tell you what, Judge, it's funny you should say that, because I've got a theory that people overly rate the chances of first time. So if somebody says, oh, I'm going to back so-and-so, it's like a 5-year-old, but it's got first time blinkers on, first time visor, first time in like whatever, you know, first time wearing green socks. Right. I always think, well, hang on a minute, like this horse, why have they never realized this before? And rather than it being a positive, you could flip that and say, is it a negative that they're actually reaching for something that they think the horse is handicapped to the hill? Yeah,
did you remember? Obviously, it was trained by Andrew Balding, wasn't it? And it's now gone to George Bowie. I think it won on the TV at Newmarket. It's been really naughty, I think was the best way of describing it. And he was quite hard work in the race. And I think there is something under the bonnet that's not quite all there, hence why the visor's on. So 4-1, no thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take that on. Now, I said earlier, Judge, we're going to come to your selection in a minute, that there's been a big move for Dirty Old Town in the last 48 hours. Again, trained by Grant Stewart. Now, this is a yard that, well, it's called, I call them sit up and take extra notice yards when money. And Grant Stewart is super, super shrewd. He's booked Jack Mitchell to ride. The horse was only beaten ahead by New Kingdom at Doncaster last week. Is this a? It's got to be a player, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does. And you know, like you say, you definitely respect the money and everything else. But yeah, it was one of the bad race at Doncaster either. Had some decent horses, didn't it? And it was finishing like I think it finished very strongly from my memory.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
But you know, in terms of like you're getting on now, you're kind of getting on at the drippings, aren't you? Really? I mean, personally, you're kind of just about missing out. I mean, I wouldn't be at all surprised if one side, but I'm afraid, bearing in mind it's 25-1 to win last week, and now you've got to take 6-1 to win arguably as good a race. I will respect the yard, but not for me, mate.
No, like you, I kind of feel I'm worried about it without being worried enough to back the thing. So I'm going to come to your selection here, Judge, which is top of the shop, number 1. Trained by Richard Spencer and ridden by Danny Tudhope. It's a course and distance winner. It is Revich. Now, why is this carrying the Judge's coin?
Well, this horse is, I mean, there's a few things. He's won the race last year. I love horses that have got previous at the course and obviously also at the time of year. He's run some cracking races this year at a mile. And I mean, it's actually surprised me to some of the races it's actually run. This horse for me is an out-and-out miler. Has run some good races at 7, but really strange they run over 10 furlongs yesterday in a handicap. And I love a little thing where horses run twice very quickly, especially at these festivals. It's uncanny how often it comes out. And I can't help thinking that was a prep for this race. If you looked at that Goodwood run behind Orban, I mean, that's a scintillating run. And this is actually a pound lower. I mean, for me, this is a weaker race than the Goodwood race over a mile. I can't remember the name of it is now, but certainly the more valuable race than this. And I just feel this horse, and it's drawn 2. It's going to be finishing well. I just hope it doesn't get too far behind, but it's, you know, just because it is a runner-honour. I can see this being bang there, mate. And I think 10-1 is a good each-way price.
Yeah. And I think what would only aid your cause is it's a decent-sized field. And so far this week, they have not been hanging around because so many horses seem to want to lead, which I don't know why, because front runners make all jobs actually have a poor record. I think you're going to get...
one held up last.
Yeah, quite. I think you're going to get a pace to runner, and I agree with you. I think that Goodwood run. Never be frightened of a horse that's run within 72 hours. They actually, I think you can back them blind and make a profit. So people shouldn't be frightened of that. And also, when any race like a mile, 6 furlongs, 7 down to 5, these horses will be fine a couple of hours after. You know, it's not like a 3-mile chase and you ask him to come out on the Saturday, is it? I mean, so yeah, Revich for the judge. I do want to mention quickly a horse called Ridano. I think he's a big player here.
I wanted to say a couple of things. Ridano, his airs form is unbelievable. Is it 175
incredible
there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's won 13 races. What a horse it's been for Diane Sayer.
Yeah, I wouldn't put anyone off that, but once again, you're just about getting the drippings again, aren't you? You know, double figures you're playing, aren't you? But
yeah. I mean, the bookmaker's gonna be wary of him because they've paid out on him so many times.
And also, Guido's got a really good record here as well. That's the other one. Just got a wide draw. I just wondered that puts me away a little bit.
Yeah, and Jason Hart takes the ride there.
That's an interesting runner. But we're going to come to your one.
I mean, let's be very clear. This is a high quality race, and they're all good horses, aren't they? And it's a very tight handicap as well.
Yes.
And I think you could have 6 horses within 2 lengths quite easily. Yeah. A bunch finish, but there's one that stands out for me. I'm going to play a bit of an angle, really. PJ McDonald is one of my favourite riders of the Northern tracks. I think he's superb, and he's been booked here by James Horton. Now, James Horton is not a household name.
He's very good.
He's extremely good. I think in probably the next 2 years, he will be a top 5 trainer. I rate him that highly. I think he's going to fly through the ranks. I think he could be the sort of the new David O'Mara. I genuinely rate him that high. I think he was Stouty's assistant, wasn't he? He's very like.
I mean, he's done a wonderful job. He was called Asjad, isn't he? I mean, that one.
Yeah. I think he's superb, and I think we're at a time now where the bookmakers and punters are just about to latch on to him, but they haven't quite. And he runs number 9 here, Il Bandito, a 4-time winner. On good to soft ground. Going to love it's one on the sand as well. It won a couple of races, and then who am I to say this? I think this race might have been in mind for quite a while from the very, very shrewd Mr. Horton. There's a bit of money for it today. You can still get 20-1 with Bet365. I could very easily see this going off in single figures tomorrow. Last time out was seen running a very gentle 5th to Carnival Zane at Thirsk in a race that I think is going to work out. That was 22 days ago. He's won at York this year and he's won at Redcar. So he's won at 2 left-handed tracks. I really like Redcar form at Ayr. I think they're very, very similar tracks. I think he's on a mark he can do some damage on. I think he's been quietly ridden off a mark of 88 with PJ on, with an up-and-coming, a brilliant young trainer. I think 20-1 if you can get that Bet365. I'm not going to say he's definitely going to win, Judge, but I'm going to make a very confident prediction that he ain't going to be 20-1 at 120 tomorrow. I can see him going off 8-9s. I could see him being a mover in the morning. I think he's going to be in the frame at least. And it would not surprise me, Judge, if he takes the first race at Ayr. I'm the one-arm bandit and he's Il Bandido. So what a pair we are. Thank you very much.
Oh, dear. I think I'll be stealing it from you with Revich. And that'll be the bandit for the lot of them.
Well, last time we were seen on such a programme, we gave 1st and 3rd in the ledger, and it should have been 2nd. So, by the way, can I just sort of say, we've had a lot of emails into the office thanking us for that ledger one. We do appreciate that. It's nice to get feedback. Otherwise, we're just 2 people sat in front of screens, aren't we? So it's great. And we love hearing about, how much money you've won, how much it upset the bookmaker. So what I would ask you is to like and share these videos if you have. If you have profited or if you've enjoyed them, join the channel. It's great for the old algorithms. It pushes the channel out there. So we really do appreciate it. Get involved with the judges' trial. It's got the judges' trial. That's a good one. It's got 2 more weeks to go. He's got a huge... I know. Well, I don't know why nobody's ever realised. He's got 2 more weeks to go, starting with a huge day at Ayr. And if you're in HFC Club, we've had a great day today on the video here with the stallion. We've got a monster trading room and a big Newmarket bet tomorrow, and also have some free HOLDEN bets. So if you're not in, get in. It's free. So, Judge, I shall see you on Tuesday morning, I think, when we'll do Judge's Tools. So have a great couple of days, mate. Good luck tomorrow.
You too, mate. Big day tomorrow all round.
Big day all round. But let's hope we start the day in the 120 with a winner between us and get everybody off to a fly, because that's what we want. Let's have a great winning week. Let's put the bookies in their place. They are nice people, some of them, but it's great. Why should they keep the money when it should be in our Davy Crockett's? That's what we say. Have a great time, Judge. See you soon, mate.
Take care, mate. Bye.